Hello! Today we're going to look at this problem here, and I'm going to introduce you to some more trigonometry to help us with this problem later on. So let's read through the problem. HMS Invincible is 100 kilometers west of HMS Fearless. They both receive a distress signal from a yacht. The bearing of the yacht from HMS Invincible is 45 degrees. The bearing of the yacht from HMS Fearless is 310 degrees. Calculate the distance of the closest ship to the yacht. Right, as with a lot of maths problems, a diagram, certainly in this instance, is going to help us. So let's put Fearless here, and HMS Invincible is 100 kilometers west of Fearless, so I for Invincible, and we'll put 100 kilometers, and we've got some more information. Bearing of the yacht from HMS Invincible is 45 degrees. Remember, a bearing always measured from a north line and measured clockwise, so 45 degrees clockwise, somewhere roughly about there, so 45 degrees in there. And then we've got the bearing of the yacht from HMS Fearless is 310 degrees. Oops, I'll start that one again. So my north line, ideally should have been a bit straighter. Bearing 310 degrees, so bearing clockwise, remember, from the north line, 90, 180 degrees, 270 degrees, 310 degrees, so somewhere roughly about there. So our yacht in there somewhere. So let's fill in a few more angles and measurements. So we had our bearing, 310 degrees. Around here, that's 270. So this must be 310 minus 270. That's 40 degrees. Angle in here, well, this angle is 90 degrees, so this must be 45 degrees, and angles in a triangle add up to 180, so this must be 95, because 180 take away 85 is 95. Okay, what are we going to do? We're going to calculate the distance of the closest ship to the yacht. Now we could calculate both distances from I, or Invincible, to the yacht, and also Fearless to the yacht, and find out which is shorter. Or we could use a little bit of logical deduction so we only have to do one calculation. So I'm going to draw a little triangle over here to help us. So let's label that ABC. So which point, either A or B, is closer to C? Well, you can simply see C is closer to A. Or sorry, A is closer to C. So A is closer than B is to C. Now another way of telling that is if you look at this angle here and this angle here, you can see that this angle is a lot bigger than that angle. So the bigger the angle in that triangle, the closer this point is going to be. So if we look back here, we've got 45 and 40. So the bigger angle is going to be closer to that ship. So in other words, Invincible, HMS Invincible, is going to be closer to the yacht. Right, now for calculating this, I'm going to introduce a new thing called the Sine Rule, and I'll write this out first of all. Now this is something you haven't seen before, and what I hope you do is you discuss with your teacher how it's derived, or preferably you do your own research and find out how it's derived. Where does it come from? Prove that it works. But what we're going to do today, we're going to apply this rule. Now this means, this rule, side A over angle A, I'll start again. Side A over the sine of the angle at A equals side B over the sine of the angle B equals side C over the sine of the angle at C. Now, well, it probably doesn't make too much sense just now, but what we're going to do, we're going to tackle this problem and I'll show you how it works. So we're looking for this length. We're going back to the problem. We're looking for this length I to Y, or invincible to the yacht, and I'm going to label that F, or little f. And hopefully you remember the way you label a triangle is we look at the angle on the other side. So that's labeled big F or capital F. Then the side opposite the angle is labeled lowercase. So that's little f. So that's what we're looking for. Now if we apply the sine rule, we've got f over the sine of the angle opposite little f. So over the sine of 40 degrees. And that's going to equal, if we look at this one here, that's going to equal 100, or we could label that as little y, 100, over the sine of the angle opposite 100, so over sine of 95. Now we could also put it equal to, what would that be? Little I over the sine of 45, but that's not going to help us. So we're looking for f. We've got this ratio now. So what we're going to do, let's get rid of the sine 40. So let's multiply both sides by sine 40. So we get 100 over sine 95 multiplied by sine 40. And you'll need your calculator for that. And eventually when you do the calculations, you get the answer, and you can double check this, of 64.5 kilometers. So this problem looked pretty complicated at the start, and it is quite a taxing problem. If you get problems like that, I think a diagram is absolutely ideal. So draw that diagram, get a feel for what's going on, and then the new thing is this thing called the sine rule. So previously we looked at triangles, right angled triangles. This isn't a right angled triangle, so we need to use this thing called the sine rule. Goodbye, and thanks for watching.